Nevertheless, moving on to, well, there's no connection really. He's never ridden the Tour de Femme. Mark Cavendish, obviously, it looked like he was going to take that stage win that he wanted. Didn't happen, unfortunately, crashed out. And I mean, yeah, what's the story, Ewan?
Yes, so Mark Cavendish crashed out of the Tour de France in the first week of racing on the roads of the Dordogne on stage 8. From there, he has been treated for his broken collarbone, and there's been a lot of sort of rumors and murmurs going about. On the day of the crash, Alexander Vinokurov spoke to L'Equipe and said that he wanted to keep Cavendish on and keep this dream rolling. It's really given Astana, Kazakhstan a raison d'etre, a sort of a purpose in the professional peloton, especially over the past sort of 6 or 7 months, especially the Giro, then the Tour de France, you saw without Cavendish, the team kind of crumbled. They brought in extra staff members as well, including Mike Renshaw, to help on the lead-out trains. But the rumor is coming from the Italian news website Tutto Bici, who are pretty mixed with their transfer rumors. But they are saying that Jordi Meus and Max Cantor also linked the squad, whilst the Mark Cavendish rumor of him staying for one more team intensifies. I also kind of agree that it might be intensifying given that sort of the emotional hangover of crashing in the Tour de France has sort of subsided. Now he's thinking about what he could possibly do in the future, and I just feel like Cavendish might come back. He's had a really, really good couple of months at Astana. They've really believed in him. The morale seemed to be super high in the squad. I don't know if he's quite ready to leave that project at the moment. And with extra reinforcements in Kanta and Jordi Meus potentially joining the squad, don't quite know about the legitimacy of the Jordi Meus comment, given that Meus won today and is signed on for Bora for another year, whether it'll all fall into place for Cavendish. But it's certainly looking like that extra year and potentially another Tour de France could be on the cards.
It would be a shame for him just to basically retire now. But we've talked about this before and how him sharing the record with Merckx isn't necessarily a bad thing. You know, the shared record and the fact that Cavendish does have the most number of road victories of any professional rider. Merckx got his in a mixture of road and time trial, of course. So I think Cav signing on for another year, I think it does make sense. I think he wants to give it a proper good go, you know. I think that leaving the tour early, it leaves kind of dreams to be desired. Like it feels like a job kind of not fully done, doesn't it? The fact that he left early because of the crash. And I think he'd at least want to get through the whole tour and be like, you know what, we got through the whole thing. It didn't work out. And now I can quite happily draw a line underneath it. But the fact that he left early is kind of a bit like, maybe I could have done something on that or that stage.
I think the sort of the leaving on your own terms element of it is quite important. But he had that at the Giro, and it was like a fairy tale where he was like, oh, I can close my Giro book here. Now that he's had that with the Giro, would he want the same thing with the Tour de France? Maybe the Giro didn't go so well and he crashed out on that stage where him and Pippa Fiorelli smashed into the barriers. Maybe he'd be more happy to call it quits. But yeah, it's an interesting one. I could see him doing it, to be honest. I wouldn't be shocked if he rolled out of bed tomorrow morning and posted a big long Instagram paragraph about how he is so hashtag excited to work with at Astana Kazakhstan cycling team for the next 12 months.
Blessed. Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed. Hashtag ad, because it'll probably have like some Monster Energy hat on it. Speaking of which, did you see that Wout posted his newly born baby picture with a Rolex?
Yeah. It was like, come on,
the Rolex product placement.
Wow.
Yeah. It was literally just like, I was like, come on, my guy. I honestly feel like the thing which Cav misses in his team isn't necessarily, I know we're talking about Mayus and Cantor being brought in, but I honestly feel like they kind of have that in, obviously, Leb and Case Ball. Do you not feel like they just kind of miss those strong ruler types? The guys who are like your Remy Cavagnas, I don't know, your Nils Pollitt's and people of the world who really set a high pace from far out, because I feel like that's what he misses. Like he's got like the last two lead out men, but he misses kind of the men before that as well. I think that's something which Astana are especially weak in. I feel like they should focus their transfer kind of attentions on that area rather than getting more lead out men, which they already have enough of.
Maybe Vinokurov is it's targeting these guys. Mauro Schmid is in the market at the moment. Look towards him. Nils Pollitt is, but he's not going to compete with you at e-money. But like maybe Astana do some like transfer consultancy. Our emails in the description below to try to help him find these kind of guys to sort of get Cavendish and get sort of your Glebs your Davide Martinellis, your Case Bowles, Jake Stewart potentially in the future in the right position. Maybe that's what he's feeling with Lorenzo Fortunato might be rumored to the squad next year. Get lucky Lorenzo to sort of position Cavendish at 5K to go.
The point Patrick made last time we discussed this was that the amount of effort he's going to have to do once again, and he is what, 38, 39, and I can't quite see him beating the likes of Jasper Philipsen.
It's just emotionally as well. Like in his retirement announcement, he spoke about wanting to spend more time with his children and wanting to be there for them and so forth. And now if he's doing another year, we asked to go to all these races, your Tour of Qatar, that doesn't even really exist anymore. Your sort of UAE
He's
tour.
won that race as well before.
Yeah, but like in February, you got to go to like
Yeah.
Middle East for a week, and then you got to go to like I don't know San Juan or something like Rogue. I don't even think Astana race there. Like you just like traveling the world. You don't really spend any time with your family, and then if he does like one of these training camps or so forth, and that's just more time taken out, and he doesn't really return to real life. But then he's got maybe this is going to get morbid, but like maybe 40 more years of real life ahead of him. Like, what is one more year?
Maybe the wife doesn't want him at home either. She's used to that lifestyle of not having him there.
Yeah, but then also I know partners get super anxious watching their partners on TV, like watching that sprint where Cavendish and Pipifarelli like collided. That was probably like a stark reminder of like, God, I hate watching bike racing.
And that guy with the hand, never forget.
We never heard anything for
the we don't know.
Maybe he was silenced. Was he silent or was he silenced?
But nevertheless,